My answer to the question put on the screen was a quick yes, but my PhD research completely changed my own way of looking at it. Let me briefly tell you what those tricky things are. I did my research with hundreds of student representatives from universities located in England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. I collected and analyzed hundreds of cases of student voice that are quoted by student reps. So, what are these hundreds of cases of student voices? As you may expect, there are some simple and common ones: classroom rearrangement, deadline extension. More constructive ones: decolonization of the curriculum, recontextualizing the program, use strike compensation. But as you may not expect, there are some really practical student voices: free printing credits, free catering service on weekends, free coffee machine, catering service on weekends, and so on. I was almost expecting someone would come and say, I want my diploma for free right now. Some student voices are quite interesting. I'd like to have some music in bathrooms of a teaching building. I'd like to see my lecturer to be fired. I'd like to have less classes and more time to party. Some of them are quite tricky. Conflicting voice between different students, abusive language, emotional outbursts, and many of them are quite difficult to describe in short phrases as they contain complicated storylines and diverse perspectives. I remember myself during interviews blinking slowly with confusion, honestly feeling so relieved that I wasn't the student rep who had to deal with this and that. So the question comes to be, what did institution and student reps do to these student voices? The recontextualization of the program one, institution said, sorry, nothing we can do. But because of this, many international students from this program ended up getting invalid certificates when they're back to their own countries. The music in bathroom ones was impressively escalated to senior levels of staff to see what they can do. The more time to party one was not brought up to staff's attention by the student rep, as she said, it's not a real issue, students are just complaining. Working in between encompassing student voice and constraints from the universities, student reps mediate, negotiate, compromise, trying to find a middle ground of interest between their students and the institutions. The process for doing so is full of contradicts, dynamics, uncertainties, and even overwhelming negativity. Coming back to the question I put on the screen, I would say yes, but hold on, I have more questions to ask. Who should we listen to? Which voice is more meaningful and rational, and who should be empowered to make decisions and judgments over each student voice? After researching about voice for more than 3 years, I started questioning myself. What's wrong with silence? What can we learn from silence? Thank you for listening to my voice and silence.